Ben Askren, I appreciate you doing this in the Las Vegas airport on your way back home. First things first, congratulations on the win Saturday. How are you feeling? I see you're a little bit bruised
Um,
up.
yeah, I got my eyes are a little swollen, but I'm doing great. I had a good day, good, nice, relaxing day yesterday. Hung out with friends, went in the hot tub, um, took a nap, all kinds of good stuff yesterday. So now I'm just headed home. Um, in the airport, unfortunately, my flight time landed right during your regularly scheduled show. So thank you for making the time for me.
No problem, but you just broke kayfabe, Ben. I wasn't going to tell anyone that this was pre-taped. I was going to keep my streak alive, and now you just exposed me to the world. But it is the first time in the 10-year history of this program that we have pre-taped an interview, so that's another huge distinction for you, another feather in your cap up there with the Hodge Awards and the Olympic team and whatnot.
Well, I don't do things like most people do them, so I think it kind of worked.
It does.
You know what? Honestly, Ariel, I think read my Twitter. I think some people are offended that a guy that looks like me can go beat up someone that looks like Robbie. I think people are actually genuinely kind of upset about that.
Yes, they're maybe upset about the finish as well. We'll get there in a second. I want to know what was going through your mind in the first 30 seconds of this fight when he's picking you up, when he's landing those shots. We've never seen you in a position like that before.
Yeah,
You're just trying to survive. But what is going through your mind? This couldn't have started out worse for you.
I know, right? Well, you know what? Actually, it starts out great because I shoot, I drag, I kind of almost have his back within the first 5 seconds of the fight. So that was fantastic. Then he slipped his arm through, and I just underestimated the power he's going to generate. He picks me up, he slams me. I'm in a terrible position. Not only that, but he's got my arm tapped under my body, and he's blasting me. And so all I'm thinking about is catching with my free hand. My other one is trapped, catching the hand that he's hitting me with, and I couldn't get it. And so at that point, I said, "Keep fighting back to my back." Um, that's not a quality that I really like showcasing. Frankly, I don't care if anyone knows, but I'm one tough son of a gun, and I think that's something that probably everyone watching play thinks Saturday is, oh my God, that guy took a beating, and he just kept coming forward and did not quit, and figured out how to get the job done.
Were you ever out at any point? It looked like your head snapped back at one point.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Were you worried that they would stop the fight, that Herb Dean would stop the fight?
I honestly wasn't even thinking about that. It was just find the wrist, find the wrist, find the wrist, find the wrist. That was all. That was literally all that was going through my head at that point in time.
Once you were able to weather that storm, did you feel like you were out of it, or did you get right back into things mentally?
Um, well, I knew I was in a pretty damn bad situation. I had blood all over my face. And
Yes.
so I was like, okay. I ended up getting a lock around his chest, and then I ended up fighting out from there. Um, you know, I knew I was in a pretty bad situation, but that didn't mean I was going to stop fighting. And so I kept coming forward. I ended up eventually getting the takedown, and then eventually getting the choke, and that was all she wrote. And frankly, you know, I thought it was a great debut. It showcased a lot of things. It was an insane fight that a lot of people had a lot of fun watching. It showcased my toughness. It showed my ability to find a win despite adversity.
So Herb Dean is getting roasted. Everyone's saying that it was an early stoppage, including Dana White. Was it the right call in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the one video, Ariel, where you just see his arm.
Yeah.
It's all the way up on my head, and it just drops, and it almost just bounces off the mat. And there's absolutely no way that you can say at that point in time he was conscious. That is the move of an unconscious man. And I think where the confusion is the first time that Herb kind of like comes at me, there was some confusion on my part because I wasn't looking straight at Herb in the eyes. I was kind of also trying to check out Robbie, and I kind of loosened my grip. And as you know, with the blood choke, a lot of times when you go out, all you need is a little blood back and you wake back up. And that was kind of, I think, what happened. So by the time I loosened up a little bit, he's already back in the game. But you don't have to hold someone unconscious for a 3 count or anything. You just have to render them unconscious for a period of time. And so Herb did make the right call. And then the other thing that people, are negating about the situation is I was under his chin. I had a minute and 40 left. I crushed watermelon. There was no path to escape for Robbie. There was none. He did not have his chin block me. I was underneath his chin. That fight was as over as it gets.
Could you feel his body go limp? Did it go from stiff to weaker? Could you feel him actually going out?
Well, I felt the hand fall, and
Yeah.
if you watch the hand fall, it actually even like the back of his hand hits the mat. It's not like he put his hand down, tried to push or grab or anything. It was just like the arm is very, very, very clearly just falling. It's unconscious. Um, And, I was trying to both look at Robbie, make sure I was squeezing tight enough, pay attention to her. There was a lot of things going on there for me.
Is it true that you wanted to go back out and corner Tyron after your fight and they didn't let you?
Well, I did, and then listen, I had already done my due diligence. I had talked to them on Tuesday about doing so, and they said, "Hey, no big deal." And I was actually making an issue because I thought that I was going to be the first fight on pay-per-view. I would then have two fights, come back out and corner Tyron, and they said, "No, you're right before Tyron." And they said, "Hey, they're walking different corners. It's going to be plenty of time. It's not going to be a big deal." And so, I thought it wasn't going to be an issue, and then, it became an issue.
What did you make of Tyron's performance?
Man, that's something Tyron struggled with for a long time. The one thing that if you look at his Achilles heel, and it's the Rory McDonald fight all over. He didn't pull the trigger. He kept looking for the perfect opportunity, and Marty, to his credit, kept fighting hard. He kept coming forward, and he didn't make it easy on Tyron. And so he just never gave him that perfect opportunity. But what Tyron has to realize, and this is what I would have told him, and I don't know that I would have made a difference, but you're not going to find the perfect opportunity sometimes. Like, my fight didn't go perfect, and you just got to keep on fighting. You got to find your opportunity, find your way to win, figure it out.
Did Marty impress you? Did he surprise you?
He didn't impress me at all, really. I was really frustrated with Tyron not pulling the trigger. Because obviously I practice Tyron all the time. I know the tools he has available to him, and like I said, he just didn't pull the trigger. I would say more. It was a case of Tyron not executing than Marty having an amazing fight.
You talked to Tyron afterwards?
I talked to him a little bit afterwards. I texted him a minute yesterday. We haven't had a super in-depth, long conversation, but I'm sure we're going to catch up again here in the next day or two.
Is it weird for you because you win your debut, but he's so down? Is it hard to fully appreciate the moment and be happy?
Yeah, absolutely. That's I can tell you genuinely, I didn't really see a scenario where Tyron lost that fight. I really didn't. You might call me crazy, but I didn't see it happening.
To the best of my knowledge, backstage, you and Colby had a bit of a run-in. You guys had a back and forth. What was said?
It wasn't much of a back and forth. It was like he said one thing to me, and I kept badgering him. The security had to say, "Will you please leave Colby alone?" And I said, "Okay." I realize he's low IQ and he has no desire in going back and forth with me because it'll turn into a roast fest. But I will leave him alone because you're asking me to do so nicely.
What did you say?
You know what? I'm not even recalling at this moment. I know I made fun of his pathetic little microphone at the open workout that he had. I think I asked him why he never called me out because he's scared of me. And I can't remember what else I said to him, but there was a handful of things before the security guard asked me to politely stop.
Okay, so it seems, though, like he is going to be next for Kamaru Usman. Are you okay with that?
I mean, it's not ideal, but yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so he's next for Usman, it seems, although we've heard this story before. You said afterwards that you already have your flight booked to London.
I do.
That's accurate? You booked the flight. You have paid for it.
I booked it 2 weeks ago.
Did you book it on your own?
No, I got the UFC to book it for me.
And so they're on board with this idea of you fighting the winner of Till Masvidal?
Well, I didn't really totally tell them what my intentions in going to London were, but they agreed for me to book the flight. I think they have me as they have guests, obviously guest fighters at all of the fights. But I thought it was perfect for me to get Till Masvidal because Till's someone I've wanted to fight for quite a long time. He's very highly ranked. He just fought it for a title. He's in his home country. Well, close enough. And so, yeah, that's where I'm going.
This is Darren Till on Twitter yesterday. Ben, your performance was expletive. You barely won. You are ugly as expletive. That chin is too big not to miss. You have no respect for no one. Oh, did I say you are a curly-haired expletive? See you in London, Muppet. What did you make of that tweet?
I mean, that's like a typical Darren Will tweet. That was like a tongue twister there. No respect for no one. I believe that means I have respect for everyone. You don't do double negative. Yeah, I mean the guy is he's just this young punk, got a chip on his shoulder, very hostile. So obviously I was trying to antagonize him. I got what I wanted, and I'll be in London in 9 days.
Are you hoping that he wins? Because that's the money fight here, not so much you and Masvidal.
Yeah, I think it's a huge fight. I think there's a really good chance he wins. I think the chances he wins are significantly greater than the chances he loses.
And have they said to you, okay, you will get him if he wins? Like, has that been said, or are you just going to try to make it
They have
happen?
not. I'm gonna sit down. Hunter Campbell's actually going to London, and I said we talked. We said we'd sit down and have dinner when we get there, and that was all I've talked. Dana doesn't talk to me. We don't deal with each other at all. So I haven't even talked to him at all.
He didn't talk to you after the fight?
No.
Does that bum you out?
No, not really. I mean, it's pretty par for the course. The guy, listen, Ariel, I don't know what this guy has against me, but he obviously had something against me in 2013, and it's pretty obvious, even though he tries to say he doesn't, that he does now. His body language, his action speak one way, even though his words may speak another. And his disdain for me after the fight on Saturday night was so palpable, you could almost touch it.
Really? You
And
could
so
feel it?
I don't know what his problem is. I really don't. I've tried multiple times now to sit down with him and have a reasonable conversation. Say, well, what is your issue with me? He won't even sit down with me, Ariel.
You could feel that he was upset after your fight?
Yeah, and I obviously read all of his comments on Twitter.
Right. So what did you feel like? Could you see him? Did you try to go up to him? Did you see him cage side?
Yeah, when I said something to him in the post-fight speech, but then obviously I hustled back. I tried to get out with Tyron. They didn't let me out. I was bitching and complaining. I ended up then going to watch Tyron's fight because they wouldn't let me out somewhere else. Then I had to go get stitches in my eye, and then I ended up having to do a bunch of media. And no, at no point did I cross paths with him.
By the way, what did you say to him on the stage at the ceremonial weigh-ins? I saw you go up to him right before you squared off.
I just said I was back.
Sorry, say it again. What did you say?
I wanted some pushback.
You wanted some pushback. What does that mean?
Man, it means every conflict needs two sides, doesn't it? And he's trying to fake like there's not this conflict. And it's real. It's genuine. We don't even have to make believe. And that's the best kind of conflict.
Right.
So just say it.
Yes, own it, right? Play it up.
Own it. Yes.
By the way, did you see that video of Covington and Usman and Usman's manager, Ali Abdelaziz? Do you see this?
It's just so ridiculous on so many levels. But how about when Colby hides behind the old lady? I mean, how bizarre was that?
Did you see Usman's manager get in the mix?
Is this really happening?
You see Usman's manager get in the mix?
Yeah, but what if you fast forward, Colby hides behind this woman. And I'm confused because Marty was in a wheelchair after the fight, like he hurt his leg or something, and now he's jumping at Colby a whole bunch of times here. So, man, I have so many questions about this video.
And in this fight, like, who do you root for? Because I feel like you have issues with both men.
I'm not rooting for anyone. I mean, if you I don't have to root for anyone. I think they I think they both suck. And Ali Abdelaziz did call me out on Twitter last night for the Marty fight because I think he's probably upset with Colby for some reason.
Yeah.
If I had to pick, though, I think, and I said this before, Tyron's fight, but I think Marty's is a little better version of Colby. You know, a little faster, a little stronger, a little better wrestler, a little better striker. So, that's obviously I've been wrong before, but that was how the fight going.
To that point, do you think there's any chance that they punish Colby and actually give you the fight against Usman next?
I mean, so not only would what would make sense is Tyron and Colby get the fight. That would make a lot of sense.
Right.
And I would get the fight Marty. But I think the fact of the matter is I'm a bigger star than both these guys, and I don't think it's close, Ariel. The UFC point blank told me that of all the fights on UFC 235, I had the most interest. And we're talking about two huge stars in John Jones and Tyron Woodley, and I had the most interest. I have way more heat right now than either of these guys. And if Marty's smart, because he's getting pay-per-view cut now, he's probably going to call my name.
Why do you think that is? I mean, even on our YouTube, your videos are doing like 3 to 4 times more than everyone else. Where is this interest coming from?
Yeah, I said I'll give you some guesses, but I'm kind of perplexed by it myself. there was this pushback for me, and then when I got signed, it's been this like total 180 just flip, and I think a lot of it is just like I'm just genuine. I'm just telling you what I feel, who I am. I'm not faking. I'm not posing. I'm not acting like a tough guy. And I think there's just something so real about that people are enjoying right now.
By the way, what if they come to you and say, no, we really want to run it back with Robbie. It was controversial. We have to do this again. What's your response?
No, I didn't want to fight Robbie in the first place. And listen, I'm sorry that Dana's guy didn't win, and he's touting about it right now, and he wants to run it back. But we're just not going to do that. I mean, I didn't want to fight him in the first place. And how does that benefit me? I mean, if I beat him again, I'm not really in any better of a spot than I am right now. I'm in a spot right now where I can have a whole bunch of huge fights. You could put me and Marty on the pay-per-view, it'd be a huge fight. You could put me and Till together, it'd be a huge fight. And so why do I want to go have a fight that I didn't already have? And as a matter of fact, that I won fairly and squarely.
Just curious, when you walked out, when you had the whole experience, when you went back to the locker room, I mean, I'm sure you've dreamed of what it would feel like to be a UFC fighter. You went through the whole fight week. You got to wear the prestigious Reebok uniform. You had your name on it. I mean, it was all great.
Are you trying to taunt me right now, Ariel?
No, why? What do you mean? I just wanted to know.
You're antagonizing me, right? You're trying to get me to say something crazy.
No,
I won't say it. I'm not taking your bait right now.
Absolutely. I just wanted to know if it lived up or perhaps exceeded your expectations, the experience.
I had a great time. You know what? I tell Megan O'Leary this. She interviewed me afterwards. For whatever reason, and I don't know. And listen, I pride myself on being a sports psychology expert. I think there was something about my prior performances to this where I felt like I needed to be so perfect and I had to finish so fast. And I put a lot of pressure on myself because my competition wasn't quite at my level. And this one, it was like there was nothing to worry about. I just have to go win this fight. If I beat Robbie, it's going to be great, And so it was just like fun. I enjoyed the moment. I enjoyed the whole week there. Everything about it, I enjoyed it. So, man, I had a great week. I loved it. And obviously, I got to heal up for a few days here, but I'm excited to get back in there.
Have you ever been slammed like that before?
A few times. Yeah, not very many. There's not a lot of people. I mean, I've wrestled with a lot of people. There's not a lot of people that could have generated the power that he did up and down. And like, I just totally underestimated how fast he was going to get me up and down, and it put me in that bad spot where he had my wrist tapped under my body.
It was amazing. What a sight. And I thought the whole thing was not going to end well for you, and how you turned things around was remarkable in its own right. My final thing for
That's
you
kind
is,
of like a metaphor for my life right now, huh?
it is. Well, I thought I got killed for this. I said it was the perfect fight for you. It went, you came back from adversity, you win. It's somewhat controversial. People may hate you more now, but they care. That's all you want, right? People care. You don't want to be indifferent.
Yeah. And listen, the other thing I have to say about this is, if that was Colby and not Robbie, I think everyone they forgot about it and been pumped. They're sad because Robbie's their favorite fighter. Listen, I like him too. He's a good dude, great fighter. And that's why they're so pissed. But if that's Colby or someone else people don't really care about, I don't think anyone gives that two thoughts, because when you see that arm drop, the arm drops. It's unconscious.
More controversial submission, that one or the Ryan Thomas one from back in the day?
I would say the Ryan Thomas, because when you go watch, I'm sure you've watched it. I think you're just trying to play the fence, because I know that's what you do a lot of times. If you watch the video of the arm going here, it's all the way up on my head, he's reaching my head, and it just drops to the canvas, and it bounces. The back of his hand bounces on the mat. That is not the move of a conscious man.
Okay. So the plan is go to London, sit there in the front row, Till wins, maybe have that fight July, August, then fight for the belt around.
Yeah, you know what? I'm even thinking sooner than that. I'm thinking June 8th in Chicago or International Fight Week.
Okay. And then you'll be fighting for the belt like around November or so.
That's what I told you a long time ago.
You did. Not against George St. Pierre, but close enough.
Well, who knows? You never know.
Ben, I appreciate it. I know you have a flight to catch. Thank you so much for doing this.
George, you ask him if he was impressed with my performance.
I will.
Because he said, listen, because when you think about it, George said the thing he was most proud of in his whole life was that he got up from that head kick against Carlos Condit. Do you remember him saying that?
Yes.
And listen, I didn't get up from one. I got up, I don't know how many, it was a whole damn bunch. And Robbie punched me and elbowed me, and he couldn't make me quit. He couldn't put me away. I just kept on fighting.
Is that now the proudest moment of your career?
I don't know about that. I mean, I'd rather not get hit, but I think it shows that I have that capability to do that kind of thing if I need to.
Can you boom roast me before you go? Can you give me a Helwani boom roasted?
Oh my gosh. Ariel, your nose is so big it could suck up all the smog in Las Vegas. Boom, roasted.
Thank you, Ben.
All right,
I
I got to go.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations. There he is.
Thank you.
Ben Askren, now 1-0 in the UFC.